So with that, we are done with the formalities, and by formalities, I meant to say that we are done with the introduction, and we also discuss about the subject introduction, and I will share this video, inshallah, this link on Google Classroom as well, so that you can watch it again. And we also discuss about the books and the registers, and I also told you about the expectations and the message, and so now we are moving on to the written work. There are three questions for today. I have kept three questions, and these three questions I will discuss it one by one, and they are similar to the questions which you have done in grades 8 as well. So it will be a revision for you guys. First of all, starting with the reference, and the reference of these questions are D2 and Cambridge past paper questions. I have taken these questions from the past papers, but you can also find these type of questions in your book D2 that you already have. And these type of questions we discuss it in grades 8 as well. So these questions are not new for you. We will discuss it one by one, and then you have to copy these three questions in your registers. And I also told you that you have to make index before starting your work. You have to leave 3 pages for the index, and then you have to make a title page if you want for the algebraic manipulation. And you can also write the key points of the video that has the syllabus and the paper pattern of the Cambridge maths paper. So you can decorate your registers with these things as well. And I told you in the beginning, again I am telling you that we are not starting with numbers, since numbers is our first topic. I told you that numbers is basically mental maths, and we will be covering that topic in revision worksheets and quiz later on, inshallah, because that topic has already been covered in the previous classes. You guys know how to convert decimals into fractions, fractions into decimals. So we are starting with the second chapter, that is algebraic manipulation. And I told you about the reference. This is from D2 and Cambridge past paper questions. If you want to practice, you can open your D2. There is chapter number 3, chapter number 4, that has these type of questions. So question number 1 has three parts. The language of the question is that expand and simplify. First, we have to understand the question. The question says you have to do two things. The first thing is you have to expand, and the second thing is you have to simplify. So, what does expand means? Expand means you have to remove the brackets. Remove the bracket means I have to remove these two brackets in order to get it expand. But the problem is that there is a number outside the bracket. And whenever there is a number outside the bracket, it means that this number will be multiplied with each and every term which is present inside the bracket. So there are two terms in this bracket. The first term is plus 3 and the second term is minus 2p. So since 4 is outside the bracket, so I have to multiply 4 with 3 as well. 4 times 3 will be 12, and 4 times minus 2p will be minus 8p. Same will happen with this. Minus 3 will be multiplied with 1, that will give us minus 3, and minus 3 when multiplied with minus p, so just minus and minus will become positive, and 3 times p will be 3p. So this is basically the meaning of expansion. We have to remove the brackets, but we have to make sure if certain thing is outside the bracket, it should be multiplied with each and every term which is present inside the bracket. So first part of the question is done, that is we have expanded this. Now we have to simplify it. Simplify means you have to add and subtract the like terms. Like term means the terms which have same variable. Like terms are the terms which have same variable. So we have variable p. So this is 8p and this is 3p. So these two are like terms, and these two are also like terms because they are numbers. So like terms can be added or subtracted. Unlike terms cannot be added or subtracted. So what will I do? I will just arrange it. Before arranging, you have to remember one key point more. What is that key point? This is one term. The sign of the term will be before the term. इस टर्म का जो साइन है, फॉर एग्जाम्पल दिस इज 12. व्हाट इज द साइन ऑफ 12? द साइन ऑफ 12 is positive. What is the sign of 8p? The sign of 8p is minus. What is the sign of 3? The sign of 3 is minus. And what is the sign of 3p? The sign of 3p is positive. So always remember the sign of the term is before the term, not after the term. ऐसा नहीं है कि 3 का साइन पॉजिटिव है. नो, द साइन इज कम्स बिफोर द टर्म. So in order to shift these terms, you have to be very careful with the signs. So first I will write 12, and then I have to write this number. So I have to shift the number and the sign both. So this is minus 3, so I am writing minus 3. This is 8p minus 8p, so I will write this minus 8p, and then this is positive 3p, so I will write positive 3p. Since nothing is going on the other side of the equation, there is no equals to sign, so this is not an equation. And we also know that if something goes on the other side of the equation, the sign changes. इधर equation ही नहीं है तो हमें sign change करने की जरूरत ही नहीं है, हम सिर्फ इनको आगे पीछे कर रहे हैं. So you should remember the sign. And I told you that sign of the term comes before the term. Term से पहले उसका sign आता है. So now we can simplify it. 12 minus 3 will be 9, and minus 8p plus 3p will be minus 5p, since the sign belongs to the greater number. 8 is greater, so minus 8p plus 3p will give me minus 5p. So this is the answer of first part. We have expanded it and we have simplified it. Okay, so the 9 minus 5p will be my final answer. Moving on to the next question. In the next question, we have two brackets. The first bracket is 3q minus r, and the second bracket is q plus 2r. And one thing we discussed in algebra, we saw some identities, we discussed some formulas, and we can relate this question to identity, because in an certain type of identity, there are two brackets, and we can expand those two brackets by using the formula. But this is not an identity. Why? Because in an identity, the first term in both the brackets should be same, and the second term in both the brackets should also be same. The only difference is of the sign. सिर्फ साइन डिफरेंट होता है. ठीक है, अगर यहाँ a है तो यहाँ भी a ही होगा, अगर यहाँ b है तो यहाँ भी b ही होगा. ओनली द डिफरेंस विल बी ऑफ द साइन, कि एक ब्रैकेट में पॉजिटिव होगा, एक ब्रैकेट में नेगेटिव होगा. तो दिस इज नॉट एन आइडेंटिटी, ये आइडेंटिटी नहीं है, बिकॉज 3q यहाँ 3q है और यहाँ q है, तो ये तो सेम ही नहीं है. तो दिस इज नॉट एन आइडेंटिटी. व्हाट वी विल डू, वी अगेन हैव टू एक्सपेंड इट, और सिंप्लीफाई भी करना है. तो expand means we have to remove the brackets, and we cannot remove a bracket because there is another bracket outside one bracket. So there will be a different strategy. And what is that strategy? We have to multiply these two brackets. And how can we multiply these two brackets? We will split the first bracket. Since there are two terms in the first bracket, so we will split it in two, and then we will first write the first part, that is 3q, and we will write the whole bracket, which is the second bracket, which is not being splitted, as it is with the first part of the first term of the first bracket. ठीक है, तो हमने अपने first bracket को we have split it down, और since यहाँ दो terms थी तो हमने जो है इनको वन वन term में split कर दिया. अगर यहाँ तीन terms होती तो हम उनको तीन बार split करते. ठीक है, तो since there are two terms, तो मैंने इसको दो में split कर दिया. The first part is 3q and the second part is minus r. So I will write the first part, that is 3q, and then I will repeat this bracket with 3q, and after 3q, second part is minus r, so I will write minus r, and then I will again repeat this whole bracket. And now the question is very much similar to the first part. अब मुझे सिर्फ multiply करना है, since I have to remove these brackets and a number is outside the bracket, so 3q will be multiplied with q to give me 3q square, and then 3q when multiplied with 2r, it will give me 3 times 2 is 6, and q multiplied by r will be qr, so this will be 6qr, minus r will be multiplied with q to give me minus qr, and since it is minus qr, so I can also write it as minus 1 qr, because जहाँ कुछ नहीं होता वहाँ 1 होता है, so this will be minus 1 qr, and then minus r multiplied by plus 2r will give me minus 2r square. ठीक है, minus plus minus and r multiplied by r will be r square. Now this has been expanded. I just have to simplify it. So for simplification, I have to search for the like terms. Where are the like terms? Yes, there are the like terms. QR and QR, same variable. So these two are the like terms, and I know that 6QR minus 1QR will give me 5QR, and the remaining part will be as it is. 3Q square will come in first, and minus 2R square will come in the last. This is my final answer. This cannot be further simplified, so this is my answer. The last part is very much similar to the second part. Again, we have two brackets and we have to multiply these two brackets. So we will again follow the same strategy. We will first split the first bracket and since there are only two terms, so we will split in half. The first part is p and the second part is minus 5. So first I will write p and I will copy this bracket whole as it is, and again the second part is minus 5, so I will write minus 5 and I will again copy this whole bracket as it is. Now I just have to multiply. P multiplied by p will give me p square. P multiplied by 4 will give me plus 4p. Minus p multiplied by p will give me minus p, and minus 5 multiplied by plus 4 will give me minus 20, and this has been expanded. ये expand हो गया है, अब मुझे इसको सिर्फ simplify करना है. So in order to simplify I have to search for the like terms. The like terms are 4p and 5p, and this is positive 4p, this is negative 5p. It will give me an answer of minus p because minus plus minus and sign belongs to the greater number, and p square and 20 minus 20 will be as it is. So this is my final answer. This is the method of multiplying two brackets. So I hope these three questions, you must be familiar with these type of questions because you have done it in grade 8. तो थोड़ा सा रिविजन हो गया. Actually these questions are from your past papers. तो आपको ये भी आइडिया हो गया कि पास्ट पेपर्स में जो है वो किस तरह के क्वेश्चंस पूछे जाते हैं. तो ये इतने मुश्किल नहीं थे, ठीक है, तुम लोगों ने ये खुद ही बड़े आसानी से कर लिए. तो इसी तरह इंशाल्लाह वी विल बी डूइंग सम वर्क फ्रॉम द बुक एंड सम वर्क फ्रॉम द पास्ट पेपर्स, so that it will be easier for you guys to understand कि किस टाइप के क्वेश्चंस आपके पास आते हैं. तो फ्रॉम नेक्स्ट क्लास इंशाल्लाह वी विल कंटिन्यू फ्रॉम हेयर. यहाँ से इंशाल्लाह आगे बढ़ेंगे. वी विल डू सम मोर क्वेश्चंस ऑन अलजेब्रिक मैनिपुलेशन. फिर उसके बाद हम अपने एक दूसरे टॉपिक को स्टार्ट कर देंगे. ठीक है, ओके. इफ़ यू हैव एनी कमेंट, इफ़ यू हैव एनी क्वेरी, कोई चीज़ समझनी हो, कोई चीज़ की प्रॉब्लम हो, नहीं समझ में आई हो, तो इंशाल्लाह नेक्स्ट क्लास में मुझसे ज़रूर पूछ लेना. थैंक यू वेरी मच.